Hi Gemini, welcome to your end of August read. So this is going to be tarot and oracle only. I'm going to be starting with a Celtic cross spread. Let's get right into it, pull some oracles, and then we'll end with the yes/no section because you guys really did like that last week. So I'm going to give you what you want. Try to give you what you want. Okay. So we have our Gemini friends, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Once. Why don't we pull everything and then let's talk about it. So we have Eight of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, Judgment, Ten of Pentacles in reverse, the Hermit in reverse, Three of Cups in reverse, Two of Cups, King of Pentacles, the Empress Reverse, and you have Fear, and then we have Death. Okay. And let's just pull everything. Compass, a letter. Okay. It's always a strong message when we have those two together. Okay, we have the Tower. Tower's different in Lenormand. It's protection actually in tarot. Okay, then we have the Key. Okay, what do we need? Okay, messages about how. Ooh, very specific. Those of you, I don't know, moving. Something to do with the home, or just really focus on feeling grounded and rooted here. Okay, very strong message having to do with the Lenormand. As always, I feel like that they always give us such strong messages. All right, let's pull a couple of oracles and we'll get the whole thing all together. Protection, yeah, but we got two protection cards. Good. Set personal boundaries. Okay. Whisper the angel oracle. Let's see what the angels want us to know, say. Everything's falling out. So I think a lot to say today. Let me know. Can you let me know how my the volume is? I guess we could say. These are literally popping everywhere. A lot of people have been mentioning that I'm too loud or my S's are too sharp, so I changed my microphone position. Let me know how it goes. Choose love. You always have a choice. Make yours with love. So this doesn't only have to do with relationships, guys. This has to do with just in general. That's in general. If it has to do with career, make sure you're doing something that you really love, Gem. No messing around here. Okay, we have the third house. Okay. We have Mars, flipping Mars, always hanging out. And we have Leo. And you know, we have the new moon in Leo and it's in your third house. And that's where there's going to be a burst of energy for you guys. So, and because you guys are the third house. So you're going to be feeling it very, very powerfully because you guys are the landlord of the third house as it is. So communication is going to be very, very strong, really happening here. Third house has it's a lot. It has to do with online communication. It has to do with learning. Gemini is the student. But it's also about creating curriculum. It's also about teaching workshops, teaching as well. It has to do with short distance travel. It has to do with siblings, extended family. So lots of communication in this area. Now, we do have Mars is not retrograde yet, so there's going to be a lot of energy pumping into what it is that you really want. Because remember, Leo is all about creative. So, it's about love affairs, and it's about what we do with our partner on a Sunday through Monday. So it's about learning different ways of doing this, learning different ways of communicating within our relationships, learning, realizing new things that we feel very creative in. So it's a beautiful energy. Third house Gemini also does deal with contracts and stuff. So I do feel like some of you may be dealing with some sort of contracts. All right, but whatever you're doing, you do need to set some personal boundaries and make sure you're doing it with love. Now, we have the compass, the letter, the tower, the key, and home. So whenever we have the compass, we always have to look at which direction it's pointing in to see what we need to look at as far as where we're meant to go. So we have the letter. The letter means that there's some sort of information that's coming in or something that needs to be signed. So this can quite literally be signing contracts for, now keep in mind, this tower, it indicates it could be corporations, organizations, institutions of governments can come under this influence. This is also boundaries, right? And it says set personal boundaries. It's also about boundaries. It's about restrictions. So you want to be careful of not like isolating yourself. This indicates your ambitions and what you expect from a situation. A strong desire to push something forward, right? But it often means also like some sort of bureaucracy or some sort of process that's necessary. So, and the reason I'm mentioning that especially is because we have it with the letter, but whatever is happening here, so this can quite literally be signing the paperwork for a new job, signing the paperwork for a new home, signing on the bottom line for movement into something else. So that's going to resonate very strongly with you guys having to do with career. This could also have to do with a message coming in that's very destined, okay? It's very kind of like predetermined already, that you have to make a decision, because the key, you can lock yourself in the gilded cage or you can keep it open and allow the mystery of the rose, which is information, which is something that's very beneficial for you, to be released. But there is a choice in this matter. At the end of the day, we always do have a choice, right? And what does it say? Choose love. You always have the choice. Make yours with love. So when we have the home card is about, yes, our physical home, selling a home, buying a home, anyone in our home, anyone who we might want to bring into our home. So that could be, should we have a baby? Should we adopt? Do you want to move in with me? Should we get married? Should we just buy a home? Should we just move together? Should we sell? Should we add to this home? Who's going away to college? Who's coming back? If none of those apply, this could just be feeling very connected to your need to feel more firmly grounded in a strong foundation, more strongly rooted, really rooted down into something, right? It's like that fourth house energy. So, but there's I feel like it's very busy. This is very busy. There's a lot of like busyness, communication, like very serendipitous stuff going on here, though. Very, very serendipitous stuff. Like, things just kind of happening and happening in a way, and you being like, oh, if you told me 3 weeks ago that this would be going on, I would never believe you, kind of thing. That kind of action, which is a Uranus kind of, Uranus on the 15th went retrograde. Jupiter, luck and expansion. Yes, remember now, Jupiter is considered the great benefic, but at the same time, Jupiter expands whatever it's in. So you want to make sure that you try to keep things balanced as you're getting these gifts in. But whatever's happening, I feel like is really, really good. Because Jupiter does rule Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is all about moving forward with integrity, but it's a forward movement. It's a belief system, So I feel like that is happening. But yeah, and just a reminder, you guys have Uranus going retrograde from August 15th until January 1 in your 12th house of the house of self-undoing. So what I like about this is I feel like whatever's happening here is going to end up unknotting any areas in your life where you feel like you may have been sabotaging yourself, you may have gotten in your own way, and that could go across the board from obsessive thinking to any sort of imbalanced behaviors, from addictions to anxiety to anything like that, and really being able to get in touch with what it is that you really wish for yourself, because that is the 12th house is about wishes. And with Uranus retrograde in there, which is totally focused on the future, you have to know that wherever Uranus goes retrograde, it's going to be better in the future, but you have to adapt or you lose out. So there are definitely changes going on with what you really wish for yourself, and there are changes going on within you recognizing where you might get in your own way and calling yourself out on it in a really healthy way, just to make sure that you don't keep repeating certain patterns. And I think part of that, Gem, is setting these personal boundaries and really doing things that you really love. Now, obviously, we can't do everything that we love, right? That's illogical. But I'm talking about the big change maker things in our life, having to do with relationship, having to do with career, big things that we choose to get ourselves into. Because I feel like a lot of you have been feeling very lonely. The Hermit Reverse is a very lonely energy. You might have felt like very disconnected from the normal group of people who you would normally be connected to, where you would needing to go it alone for a bit and really kind of fall back on your own laurels and your own belief system, because you really didn't have anybody to kind of walk through things with. It's the Hermit energy is definitely like more of an isolated energy. Now, for some of you, and this is no shade on anybody out there, right? I mean, and this is a general message, so this may or may not be for you, but this can indicate being isolated, feeling isolated, but at the same time feeling like either like a martyr or victim mentality, that you're having because this is your past, had a really hard time letting go of. And I feel like that might have been part of what you're looking at in these 12th house energies. And a lot of us are subject to that at some point in our life. I don't know of a sign who would be, I don't know of anyone who would be, resilient against that. That's just part of the human condition. But I do feel like in your past, this is what you were working with, right? This feeling sort of isolation and looking at things in your life and saying, you know what, like everything was wrong with that, and you may have been right, but you were having it. What ends up happening though, when we entrench ourselves in those kind of energies, they did this and this to me, or that and that happened in that job or whatever, we can't move forward. We got to put ourselves in cement shoes when we're focused on where we were made victim or where we martyred ourselves out or anything like that. Now, the situation right now, I like this so much. It's 8 of Wands. This is awesome. One of my top 3 favorite minor arcana is because it's a fast energy and it's positive. It's one of the most positive in the deck. It's okay, quick messages coming in. The messages are good. And the good messages that are coming in may incite a move, now this could be a physical move having to do with home, having to do with a job. This could be all of a sudden a switch in relationship. You hear from somebody that you haven't heard from, and all of a sudden you're like back in this romance. It doesn't necessarily mean reconciliation, but it does mean some sort of communication coming in that's very positive for you, that's going to incite change, almost a frenetic kind of energy. But ultimately, it's so positive because ultimately it's going to bring you the strong foundation. So I love that we got this, and I love that we got house, and we have Jupiter with luck and expansion having to do with this, because I feel like whatever's happening right now, no matter how it's going to roll out in the short term right now, ultimately it's getting a ball rolling to bring you to a space of strong foundation, really, which is what I'm seeing here is very important right now. Yeah, and then we have the 7 of Pentacles. I mean, this is great. You putting your hard work in, and you're just setting yourself up for all kinds of gifts, because this is Saturn and Taurus. And the thing is, Saturn, when you do what Saturn wants, even though it's about Saturn's restriction and challenge and all of that, Saturn is also the world card. So Saturn's just like, if you put the work in, the biggest blessings are on the other side. And this is why the 7 of Pentacles energy is where I say heaven and earth meet. Because it really is this, first of all, opening up a new door, this sort of opening up of a new phase in your life where you're going to be working really hard, but it's unbelievably positive on the other side of it. So that is definitely, in my opinion, a really beautiful, just complementing this situation with the 8 of Wands. Now we have the Judgment energy in the best that can be achieved. So we love this. I mean, the Judgment is about self-assessment, first of all. I mean, you're assessing yourself on how you showed up in that relationship. How did you show up in that job, that family connection, whatever it is. And you saying, you know what? Seriously, I did the best I knew how at the time with the tools I was working with, and it's about forgiving, because it's a Pluto energy. It's about transformation and forgiveness and the decision to forgive. There's a decision to forgive here. Forgive yourself if you didn't show up the best way. Forgive somebody else. It really is the ultimate. Because listen, I mean, judgment. Who has the right to really, really judge anyway? Right? Only God. We don't have the right to judge each other. We could feel uncomfortable with how people treat us, but do you know what I'm saying? So when we're in the judgment energy, we're in an energy where it's like, well, look, who am I? I did the best I could, and you know what? So did they. Maybe I don't like how they treated me. Maybe I don't like the outcome, but I'm pretty sure that whatever they were working with, they did the best they knew how, and they made the choices that they saw were best for them. And that really is like such a self-loving perspective. It really is. Because you can't change what anybody else has done, and we all know that. We all know it, yet it's hard to remember that sometimes, right? Now we have as the foundation, we have the Ten of Pentacles reverse, right? The reason for the reading. So this could mean financial issues, poor communication regarding finances, poor, just something happening to do with finances. This could even be just feeling like you're not connected to your partner, feeling like you're not connected to your family in the way that you would really like to feel. Having to do with work, with things are just not right just yet. It just may take a minute, right? Ten of Pentacles, it's still a minor arcana. So this is not a long-lived thing, but it just means that there is a conversation that's very necessary regarding either money or how you connect to or with the situation. Because remember, money, Pentacles, is emotional, physical, and mental connection as well. So you have to look at, like, maybe your money is fine, but maybe you're not feeling very connected to your partner, or maybe you're not feeling very supported at work. You have to have that conversation, because you're entering a new age right now, especially with the judgment energy. It does indicate there's an end of something, and then we have the death card here too as well. So it's definitely an ending of something. There's something transforming. Okay, certainly a transformation of something here, which I like. We have two heavy Pluto energies here. Absolutely. And then we have the Two of Cups. So this is beautiful about, and this is you. So you feel very ready to share yourself. You feel very ready to play something fair. This could also be you. If this has to do with work, this could be things going really, or work or finances. This thing could be things going really well, having to do with any documents that need to be signed, anything having to do with any sort of documents. I'm just going to say it like that, because that could apply to anything that would require a document signing. Things going really well there. This could also indicate those of you who are in a situation, maybe you need to change your style of work. Maybe you need to start working at home, or you want to stop working at home. You want to start going into the office, or you need to change your hours. You need to make adjustments. This being a very benefic energy for that. So things going well for that. So I really like that for you, which is good. Good. And then we have the King of Pentacles. So whenever we have, now this is the your environment or any sort of external influence. So whenever we have a king, queen without a court card, it could be you, or could be another person, or it could be a general energetic influence. So if this is a King of Pentacles external to you, or even if it's you, this could be you being very focused on your money right now, very focused on the planning phases of something, very focused on trying to save money, trying to get your ducks in a row financially, having to do with that. This could be feeling, being very in a space of being very focused on working on the connection between you and another, feeling very, because remember, emotional, mental, and physical connection. So this can quite literally, with the Two of Cups energy, you very much being in the active phases of really trying to establish a strong connection with someone or to a certain position that you're dealing with. And the only little caveat here is, like, it could be a money thing. So because we have the Ten of Pentacles reverse and then we have the Empress reverse, I am seeing that there might be a financial situation that needs to be mitigated if you're in any sort of situation where you're living with someone where there's mutual finances is what I'm saying. So it could be any sort of situation, relationship where you're living with somebody, or if you're in a business situation, you know, where you have a partner, that kind of thing. So there needs to be a very healthy conversation though about money. Like that, because I just feel like that's a thing right now. But feeling very like set on really wanting to move forward in something. And we have the Empress energy. So this is the mother of the tarot. This is in your fear position. And when we have the Empress Reverse, this is you fearing growth. You fearing not having enough money. You fearing that the connection won't be strong enough to make it. That you guys won't have the strong enough foundation to be really successful on whatever it is that you're getting into, whether it's that relationship or that you're in, whether it's the relationship, the marriage, the job, the family connection, whatever it is. Like you're afraid of almost like whatever is being made available to you in this energy during this change. You're afraid of the shallowness, the potential shallowness of it, meaning like you're afraid it won't last. It's your fear though. It's a very mental card. But then we have the Death card. And this is Scorpio, which is ruled by Pluto, another transformation energy. I mean, this is an ending and a simultaneous new beginning. Now, but this is the thing. You have to understand. This is so the energy where when this is a cycle ending, right? And you're going to realize that whatever's ending and falling away from you right now, you are going to realize was just so to your benefit. Whatever you're releasing in this energy, it has no space in your life, whether it's a way of thinking, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job. The good thing here is death brings a new beginning, always. Always. It's not like the Tower. I mean, the Tower has its own positives and negatives, but the Tower, something falls apart and you have to start like from scratch, brand new, and who knows where that is, really. But with the death energy, it's more of a cyclical kind of thing, right? Because remember, Scorpio, it's Scorpio energy. Scorpio is the landlord of the 8th house. The 8th house is all about cycles, right? It's cycles. So it could be a cycle of money, where you're leaving this cycle of not having, going into a cycle of having. You leaving a cycle of having, everything is fine with your money, but you becoming more committed in a relationship, or everything being okay here, but you cycling into maybe releasing a relationship. Could be a number of releasing a job too, right? Because the Empress is about building what we have, right? It's planting seeds, growing it, birthing it, and then doing again. It's about creating, right? So it could also have to do with that. Now, in the near future, we have the Three of Cups energy. Now, first of all, this can indicate, I'm getting a couple of things here, so let me just get my thoughts straight. Oh my gosh, sometimes it's like a speeding car going by. I'm trying to catch all the messages at once. Okay, so for some of you, this can represent irresponsible flirting. Okay, straight out of the gate, where either you or somebody that you're involved with, they are not acting very responsible the way that they should be showing up in the relationship. They're not being like the best relationship version of themselves that they could be. Flirting with people either in person or online. Okay, that could be one thing. This could also be you and your partner just not seeing eye to eye, where having to do, again, with money, with plans, with how things are supposed to be rolling out, agreeing on what it is that you actually want to do moving forward. Now, I just want you to keep in mind, this is a minor arcana. It's not major. And I just feel like there are so many heavy energies throughout the rest with the Death and the Empress, and, we have the Judgment energy, and I just feel like this is passing, but this is something that you're going to have to deal with. Things just not being, this is a bump that you're going to have, like a knot that you're going to have to just unknot. I feel like having to do with a business partner as well. So this could indicate, because Two of Cups can indicate a really beautiful union having to do with a business partnership as well. But you guys need to iron out some things. You know, everything is beautiful. Everything's fine. You got this minor arcana. This is a bump. This is in the near future. So I feel like, well, we're in like the new moon Leo energy as we start to approach kind of getting into the pre-phase of Mars retrograde. There may be a couple of snafus that you're going to have to work through, but I don't see them being a big deal. But listen, Gemini, what you're going to have to really remember is boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. But whatever you choose it with love, for love. Do it that's in a way that speaks to your heart space. This is not a time and not an energy, especially with you guys in the North Node, where you go martyring yourself, saying, oh, it's okay, right? Because Gem, right? So forgiving all the time, right? You are. So, because half the time you really don't give a crap about most of the stuff other people do. You're like, whatever. Gemini is known as being like a freedom-loving, easygoing, I want to just have a good time sign, right? I mean, you guys are. So, but this is right now is the time for you to say, this is what I know I want. I'm going to be very fair. I'm working from a space of love. I'm going to maintain boundaries. I'm going to understand what's acceptable and not acceptable. And I'm going to walk that line. And you may end up bumping some heads as you walk that line, but that's okay. That's okay, because I don't see this being a problem. Okay. So let's sweep these fellas here. Why do I say that, fellas? Why am I saying that? I sound like an old lady. Fellas. All right. What is that, Jackie? What is that? All right. Oh, also, for those of you who didn't watch, I'll link the video I did about the fall. Titled It's the Season of Chaos. Just talking about the retrogrades and all the stuff that's going to be going on. It's not going to last. It's going to get better. But while we're going through it, it's going to be a little tumultuous. So let's do the yes-no, guys. You know how these go. Okay, I want you to take a nice deep breath. Say a question in your mind that would require a yes or no answer 3 separate times in full sentences, and ask it the same way all 3 times. Best to do it out loud if you can't, at least clearly to yourself. Any question? Let's pull the first card. The Fool. That would be a yes. Second card. You don't read reversals in these. Ace of Cups. This would be a yes. Six of Pentacles. A third yes. So whatever it is that you have on your mind right now, the answer is yes, whatever question. So that is what I have for you, Gemini. I hope this was helpful for you in some way. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.